All right. Credits. Fire Emblem Engage has finally been conquered. Uh, despite playing this game for 60 plus hours, or at least streaming this game for 60 plus hours, did not write down my thoughts for this game. And that's primarily because when I initially went into this game, like my intro, I basically established fire. Like, I don't have excitement or anticipation to play Fire Emblem games. Like it's a Fire Emblem game. I know pretty much what I'm going to get. And in this case, it was very much that. It was like I know I'm gonna get the classic Fire Emblem gameplay. There might be a few changes here or there, but more or less, it's gonna be Fire Emblem. The story is gonna be a story, and that's that. Like, I don't feel like I would go out of my way to play any Fire Emblem game ever. But that said, once I start playing a Fire Emblem game, it's great. Fire Emblem games, they're really good games. And that's exactly the case with Fire Emblem Engage. It's a really good game. I enjoyed playing it a lot. I still don't feel any different about how I would approach Fire Emblem games. If someone said, "Oh, Fire Emblem, 12 boxes, came out," I would not be like, "Oh yeah, I gotta go play that new Fire Emblem game." It's just not on any radar for me. It's not something that I just want to do, but I'm sure once I start playing it, I'll get back in the groove because I love my tactics games. So it's a kind of a weird dynamic where I have so much like there's just this like field that I have to get past, and I have to actually start playing it. But if I don't get past that field, I'm just stuck on the other side. I don't know. Anyways, so my overall thoughts on Fire Emblem Engage is, yeah, I had fun with the game. It's a good game. It's a great Fire Emblem game even. There's really not much that is either worth complaining about or that I should complain about for this game. I think the gameplay was pretty spot on. I think the Engage emblems actually added a nice bit of dynamic to the fight. And I feel like all the battles weren't incredibly disadvantageous for me as a player to go through them, because that's what tactics games normally do. They'll sit like an army on top of a hill, and you got to climb up the hill while you're getting attacked by archers and things like that. And it's just really, really nice to encounter games that don't do that to you all the time. And I appreciate that a lot. What I can say, though, is despite the story being fine and me not really, hey, Digital Hearts, what's up? Despite me not having any issues with the story, I still feel like the weakest part of this game is the writing. The writing, and even in it gets to be difficult sometimes because the writing is so in so many spots, and then you have the voice actors reciting what is written, and it's like, I don't like what you just said, and I don't like how you said it. but it's probably just I don't like what you said. And it's rough. The writing in this game, like it's not horrible or anything like that, but it just doesn't flow into anything that appeals to me whatsoever. I made many mentions that this game, like the writing in this game, reminds me of Power Rangers, like the original Power Ranger.
Today's the day of my coronation. Today, I'll be crowned the Divine Dragon King. I had hoped that all of you would be standing by my side for the occasion. But I guess not. Shine on! Emblem of Beginnings! Worth a try. I wonder if we'll ever meet again.
Aha! I knew we'd find you in here!
We must have looked everywhere. Everyone.
The coronation is going to start any minute now.
All right, time to get changed, unless you're wearing that.
Yeah, I guess I should, huh? Huh?
Oh, hurry up! Come on!
Oh, okay. I'm coming.
Someday, in the future, our paths may cross once more. Our bonds can be reforged time and again. Whenever you desire, you need only say the word. Engage!
I was gonna say it right there. I was like, they're not gonna say it. I'm gonna say engage. And they said it. So yeah. It feels like a Power Ranger TV show. A lot of the times. The interactions with the villains, the interactions with our friends, just like normal story beats and things like that. You know, like, oh, you stole my ring. Give it back to me. How dare you? You know, it's like, come on, man. It Power Rangers is written for the younger audience, and maybe this was written for a younger audience too. I just feel like Fire Emblem games are too hard for children, you know, that would be watching Power Rangers when I was watching Power Rangers. But maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe they persevered through it. You know, I've certainly played some very tough games when I was a kid. So why not Fire Emblem too? The other thing, which that scene reminded me of, because I was totally going to forget about this, is the dialogue that occurs before and after battles. They have like a, you know, like a visual novel-esque way of characters talking to one another, which is fine, you know, whatever. But the problem is the particular scene blocking, or like where characters are, just doesn't make any sense sometimes. And though in the way they portray that scene happening with the way that the dialogue is being delivered makes it very, very difficult to feel, pardon me for saying this, engaged in the scene. Because if a character is wearing a ring, and then all of a sudden the enemy has that ring, well, it's just like, okay, how did the character get that ring? You know, they were way over there. I'm way over here. There's situations where it's like there's only one way out of this building, and we're standing in front of it. And the enemy's like, well, time to go. And then, you know, how did they leave? We just let them walk right past us? You know, how does this work? And that was kind of frustrating. There's many more examples, but I don't have those off the top of my head. Yes, do that. But yeah,
Fire
that's
Emblem. Engage.
pretty much my thoughts on Fire Emblem Engage. I think it's a great game. Had a ton of fun. Didn't like the writing at all. The voice acting was pretty good, all things considered. But I think the voice acting, reading what was written, does the voice acting a disservice. I'm not a big fan of the main character, but he's not a silent protagonist, so you know, who cares? And I guess if the developer is watching, you know, I think this is a great Fire Emblem entry. It's more of a me thing, a personal thing, where it's just like I'm not excited to play Fire Emblem games, but as soon as I'm playing them, I'm spending 60 hours going through them and whatnot. I will say, I was also not going to mention this, but I remembered. The Somniel this time around, I think, is a much better implementation of the monastery. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of required things to do, and there's less waiting around and like doing weird stuff. So I actually appreciated the Somniel this time around. I feel like I would rather the Somniel not be there, or even take a more reduced approach. I just don't see the benefit of walking around this area and talking to these characters and picking up these items and like that. It's not really what I want from a Fire Emblem game. But like it didn't detract from the game for me. It just got to the point where, like, yeah, I should be doing this because it's just more power, basically. But sometimes it takes too long, and it's not really interesting to do after a while. And, you know, there's no more unlocks for it, and not interested in the mini games or the button mashing or beating Sami or whatever else that there might be, fishing. But like if it were to be in the next Fire Emblem game, I would be okay with it. I think it's a much better implementation than the monastery, and I didn't think the monastery was horrible or anything like that. And you know, I like the Somniel implementation better. The waking up to characters thing is very, very weird. As a matter of fact, now that I'm here, slightly going back to the writing, why is every character in this game, or at least a lot of the characters in this game, so weird, awkward, and they have like these strange character quirks that make them so unlikable. You know, probably just a personal thing, but I found so many of these characters to be just kind of jerks or not nice people, not friendly people, not polite people. I don't know. You know, it's weird. Anyways, that's going to be my thoughts for Fire Emblem Engage. I'm going to stop the stream and I guess go do something. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific, to play something. That'll be, I guess I got to figure that out. But I'm out. Peace.